The Mirror of Lost Voices. The rain fell in relentless torrents, cascading down like liquid glass over the ruins of a forgotten world. Every drop seemed to carry memories long buried, shimmering under flashes of distant lightning. Maya walked alone, wrapped in a torn coat, her boots sinking into the cold mud. Her destination, the ancient dungeon of Calum, a place said to be cursed. They said no one who entered its gates ever came back sane, but Maya wasn't there for bravery. She was there for answers. Since childhood, she had heard a voice in her dreams, a soft, sorrowful voice calling her name in echoes and whispers. Maya, find me before it's too late. For years, she tried to ignore it, dismissing it as her imagination, but after her mother's sudden death, something changed. Among her mother's belongings, Maya found an old diary, its pages yellowed and words nearly faded. One phrase stood out. The mirror knows, the mirror shows. That was all she needed to find her way there. Inside, the dungeon was cold and damp, filled with the metallic stench of rust and decay. The walls, veined with ancient roots, seemed to breathe in the dim light. The sound of rain faded as she descended deeper, replaced by a silence so heavy it felt alive. The flickering flame of her oil lamp danced across cracked stone, casting shifting shadows that moved like living things. Then she saw it, an old mirror, hanging crookedly on the wall. The glass was mottled with age, but something about it drew her closer, almost against her will. As she approached, her reflection looked wrong. The movements lagged slightly, the shadows didn't align. When she blinked, the reflection blinked a second later. Maya reached out. The surface was ice cold, so cold her fingers numbed instantly. Then, the reflection smiled, but she hadn't. Startled, she stumbled backward, tripping over a chunk of broken stone. Her reflection, however, stepped forward, staring straight into her eyes that were now pitch black and hollow. A voice whispered, not aloud, but inside her mind, "You finally came." The lamp in her hand shattered, sparks flashing before the darkness swallowed everything whole. Maya gasped, unsure if what she was seeing was real. When the light returned, she was no longer in the dungeon. She was inside the mirror. The world around her looked the same, yet horribly different. The walls had a reddish hue, pulsing faintly as though they had veins. The air was thick, and a fine mist covered the ground. At the center of the room stood a hooded figure watching her. "Who are you?" Maya asked, her voice trembling. The figure slowly lifted its hood. It was her, or rather a version of her, with entirely black eyes and a smile that split her face unnaturally wide. "I'm what you left here," the double said. "Everything you denied, everything you buried." Maya took a step back, but the mirror behind her was gone. Only the dark version remained, calm, patient, almost pitying. "You were called because something must be corrected," it said. "Your mother tried to imprison me, but you opened the way." Maya's pulse raced. "What do you want?" "I want what was always mine, freedom." The shadow moved closer, and the floor beneath Maya began to dissolve into a black pool. Voices filled the air, screaming, crying, laughing, echoing from everywhere and nowhere. The walls trembled, the temperature plummeted, and the air itself seemed to twist. "No, I won't let you out," Maya shouted. The shadow laughed, a deep, distorted sound that reverberated through her skull. "You already did, the moment you looked at me." Then Maya remembered the diary. On the inside of the back cover, faintly written in pencil, were the words, "Break the reflection, not the glass." Not fully understanding, she stood and faced her double. The dark version raised its hands, and the air between them warped and shimmered. A force pushed Maya backward, almost knocking her off her feet. With what little strength she had left, she closed her eyes and focused. On herself, her memories, her truth. Flashes filled her mind, her mother's laughter, warm sunlight, the promise to never let the darkness define her. "I am not you," she whispered. Her reflection cracked, not the mirror itself, but the image. Fissures spread across the dark version's face, and the screams intensified. The ground trembled, the air rippled, and everything shattered into a blinding white light. When Maya opened her eyes, she was back in the dungeon. The rain still fell outside, but the mirror lay broken, its shards dull and lifeless. On the floor, among the fragments, was something new. Her mother's necklace. She picked it up carefully, a strange calm washing over her. In the silence that followed, a final whisper echoed, soft and fading. "Thank you, my daughter." Maya looked one last time at the shattered mirror before stepping into the rain. Dawn was breaking through the gray sky, its light pale but comforting. And yet, for just a moment, in a puddle at her feet, she could have sworn her reflection smiled back, even though she hadn't.